Hey, hi, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, for today's video, here's what's going down, here's what's happening. So I have the day off. I'm about to take some pictures. I have this like really cool idea with like some clips that I got at the 99-cent store. So I'm gonna like put on a little bit of face and fix my hair. So I thought while I was doing that, we could talk about all of the jobs I've had since my very first job and why I quit or got fired. So I am no beauty guru, don't get it twisted. I did have a phase though one time where I like thought that I was gonna like be like a beauty influencer. It's not true, it's not for me, it's not. No, not at all. My very first job I ever had, I worked at Dairy Queen. I worked at Dairy Queen in my little town, and it was my first job. It was really fun because it was like my first job, and I was like, woo! The reason that I got fired there is because they scheduled me on homecoming night, and I was like, I am not missing the football game. Like, I am not gonna miss this time with my friends. You can't do that to me. So I had my friend Bridget call and act like my mom and say that I wasn't gonna make it in and blah, 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 blah. So I didn't go in, but the owner knew my family and found out that my mom, in fact, did not call. She did not call. It was Bridget. So that happened. My dad was not happy. I remember he was really not happy with me that I did that. And then I needed a job, and I didn't want like my dad to be mad at me anymore, and I wanted to correct my wrongs. Like I did wrong, and I wanted to fix that, right? So I called, and the owner was like, yeah, come in, we can talk. So I go in, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm really sorry, like, I won't do it again, like, I'm really sorry, like, I just really need this job, right? We shake hands. He's like, I'll give you a job if you promise me that you won't pull that shit again. And I said, I promise. Shook his hand. Girl, I went in the next day, the manager tested me too hard, and I never came back. I never went back. So yeah, that was my first job. That's what I did when I was 16. After Dairy Queen, I started working at this place called the Pasta House. It was this restaurant, this Italian restaurant, okay? And the Pasta House was so fun. It was literally just a bunch of misfits that worked there, including me. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, these people were just crazy, and they were just such a good time and so fun to be around, and just like no one really gave it an actual f***. Like, no one cared. It was just so fun. I literally ended up working there for like 3 or 4 years because I loved it so much. It was so great. And my best friend had gotten a job there. So we were like going to skin school together, and then we would just ride from skin school and go to work together too. Oh, it was such a good time. Everyone who worked in the kitchen was like fresh out of prison, so they like didn't care. Like, I remember they would like throw pizzas and shit, like when they would get pissed and like cuss each other out, and the servers would go back there and be like, the drama there was just something out of this world. I was never in it. I just like to sit back and watch because it was funny. I put in my 2 weeks there. I actually did that one right. Like, I think. Like, I left like correctly, the right way, the way you're supposed to, the respectful way, if you will, because I had graduated from skin school and got a job at a medical spa. I started working at this medical spa as an esthetician and a front desk person. It was really fun, and I worked there for a little bit, but then I was like, I just am not passionate about this. It was also, I would like to say, the richest I've ever been in my life. Like, those girls were making money, and I was one of those girls. And I wasn't even one of like the top dog girls. Like, I was new, and I was like doing good, but my heart wasn't in it. And eventually I was like, okay, this is just not what I want to be doing. And I really wanted to move to Los Angeles as well. So I was like, this job is just holding me back. I'm just building my clientele for nothing for me to leave. So I left. Also, I kind of like gave like a little notice there too. And then after that, I started working at this coffee shop. It was a coffee shop inside of a hair salon, and I was the only employee. So I was also the manager. That was really good on my resume. I didn't do shit. I literally didn't do shit. I sat in the back and cried because I was so bored. Like, literally, like I would sit in the back and I would just like have tears in my eyes because I was like, I don't want to be stuck in Missouri anymore. Like, I hate it here. Like, look at me. Like, I'm just sitting in the back by all these dirty dishes. Like, no one's coming in here. Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I was like really miserable. But a big reason that I was able to move to Los Angeles is because of the owner of that coffee shop slash hair salon She literally, I don't want to like sound like cliche or like anything, but like she kind of like really changed my life. Like she kind of was like really great and very understanding, and she offered a lot of advice. She was a very wise woman. So I'm thankful for that job, even though it like wasn't my favorite. While I was working at that coffee shop, all of my girlfriends worked at a tanning place, Palm Beach Tan. And I was like, oh my God, like I just want to work here with you guys. Like it would be so fun if we all would just work together. So I ended up getting a job there because my best girlfriend was the manager. So she hired me, of course. And it was like miserably boring as well, but it was fun because I got to like go to work with all my friends. But it was boring as shit. The reason that I got fired from there, it was January 1st, okay? The store was closed, our store was closed, it was locked up, but I was leaving the next day to go to Los Angeles to visit and hang out with my friends. And I was not about to go and not be tan. I was like, I need to get a spray tan, like I'm gonna get a spray tan. I would like to say though, we did get free spray tans and free tanning as an employee. So I was like, okay, like I know that the store is closed today, but I'm an employee, like I'll just go and I'll tan myself, no big deal. So I go and I like unlock the store and I'm like getting my tan stuff all ready and yada yada yada. The next day, corporate texts my manager, who was my best friend, and was like, hey, every single store across the entire world was closed yesterday, but somehow we got a notification saying that Richard Tucker had tanned. And he's an employee, so you have to fire him. So my best friend ended up having to fire me because I snuck into Palm Beach Tan whenever they were closed to get a spray tan. And I got fired. I wasn't sad though. I was like, whatever, f this job. And I was tan, so I was like, perfect. And then I left to go visit California, so I was like, you literally can't bring me down right now. So that was that. Then the pandemic happened and I didn't work for a minute. But when I moved to Los Angeles, my first job out here was a Starbucks inside of a Ralph's. Ralph's is a grocery store out here, for those of you who don't know. God awful. God awful. It was miserable. I was like posted up in the corner, no windows, no light, busy as all hell. My manager was like a middle-aged woman who just didn't get it. And we just like, it just wasn't fun. Like it was just not fun. It was miserable. And on top of that, I couldn't even take tips because we weren't a Starbucks, we were a Ralph's with a Starbucks in it. Ugh, God, it was bad. It was bad. And since I was the new kid, they had asked me, they were like, are you a morning person? And I was like, yeah, like I love mornings. They were like, okay, so we'll put you as an opener. And I was like, sure, like, you know, like that's fine. Bitch, an opener at Starbucks, I literally had to wake up at 3:30 a.m. to get to the store, open it, and then immediately, as soon as we open, start slinging drinks out at 4:30 a.m. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was so depressed. Oh, that job was miserable. That job really was bad. So after doing that for like 2 months, me and my roommate at the time, we got drunk and I was like, I can't go in there tomorrow. I can't do it. So I called at like 1 a.m. and I was like, hey, it's Richie. I just want to let you know that I'm not coming in tomorrow. And he was like, well, you can't just do that. You can't just like call out. And I was like, no, I'm not calling out. I'm like, I'm quitting. Yeah, I like quit. That was like miserable. It was, God, Starbucks was just not the one for me. So after Starbucks, I got a job at this place called Coffee Dose here in Los Angeles. Fun job. I mean, I was like, I hated this one as well, but I loved like my coworkers, so it was like fun. My roommate described it as college, where it's like you hate college but you have like really good memories there type of deal. And I think that that really explains it. Wasn't my favorite place to work. It was kind of like a negative environment, I thought, but I really enjoyed the people that I got to work with and the people I got to meet. It was like fun. Like I met really good people there. Well, I ended up putting in my 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. That was the end of that one. Then I worked at the Cheesecake Factory for 2 days. I went in for orientation, and then I went in for a training day, and oh my God, I don't know if you've ever been to a Cheesecake Factory. Oh, but I would like to say I was the baker. So I had to like plate all of the cheesecake and do all of the desserts. That was my job. First of all, they don't make the cheesecake and I didn't bake shit. It literally comes frozen and I had to put it on the plate. That's it, with like whipped cream. The amount of people that go in there and order cheesecake, obviously it's a Cheesecake Factory, but like, oh my God, it was miserable. And I don't speak very good Spanish. I only know like the basics, but all of the people who worked in the bakery, they all spoke Spanish and they were all like friends. So they would like speak Spanish to each other and I would just be like standing there like I couldn't even try to chip in if I wanted to because I don't speak Spanish, which is my fault. Like I should know Spanish, I think, and I do like know a little bit, but I just didn't feel welcomed and it was just so overwhelmingly busy. So I called them the next day on my next shift and I was like, hey, I'm not coming in today. And they were like, well, if you're gonna call out, you have to give us a 4 hours notice. And I was like, no, like I'm not coming in today or ever. And they were like, well, let me go get a manager for you so you can talk to them. And I was like, no. Just let them know. Just let them know. And I quit. So after the Cheesecake Factory, I started working at this fine dining restaurant called Fanny's. It's in the Academy Museum where they, you know, like have all this like movie shit and shit. And I was also working at this little produce stand across the street from my house called Rick's Produce. Again, Fanny's loved the crew. Great crew. The people who worked there were so fun and so funny. So fun to work with. That one's a long story. We can get into that later, but long story short, I had a meeting with the managers and I was like, I need a raise or I quit. And they were like, we can't give you a raise. And I said, okay, I quit. And they were like, just like that? You're not even gonna give us your 2 weeks? And I said, no. Working at Rick's was great. It was just a produce market. It was kind of slow. It was a little bit boring, but the people were fine. It was just something so I could like catch up on my bills because I was working 2 jobs. So after I came back from Christmas, I didn't work there anymore. Now, so I took like a month off of work. I haven't worked for like the last like literally 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe. But I just got a job at this little coffee house across the street from me. So I'm gonna be doing that. I actually started yesterday and it was fine. It was, I don't know, I can't make a judgment yet because I literally just started, but I mean, it seems to be decent. So I'm gonna take it. Oh, I also just applied for the app WAG, which is a dog walking like app thing, and I had to pay $40 to get the WAG t-shirt uniform, just a literal t-shirt, and I also had to take a test to like make sure that I knew how to work with dogs, and I failed. I failed the test. I had to take it twice. I failed the first time and then the second time I finally passed, but I was really embarrassed. So anyways, now I'm working at a coffee shop and I'm a dog walker. I haven't like done it yet, but it's there. That's all my jobs, I think. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm 22 years old and I've had 13 jobs. Is that good or bad? Okay, I'm gonna finish getting ready. I'll show you the final look just so you can see what I'm like working for. Should I shave my head? Comment down below if I should shave my head. Should I shave my head? Okay, so my face is like done. I look greasy, but I just gotta powder up and stuff, but I'm just taking a picture so I can like edit it and fix it up. Here's the inspo. This is what I'm going for. So obviously I don't look like that person. Wouldn't that be nice? But it's a cool concept, okay? And I got these cute little colorful clips from the 99-cent store. So I was like, come on, like let's try this. Let's try something. The reason that I actually look really greasy right now is because instead of using highlighter, I have been... Instead of using highlighter, I've been using petroleum jelly. And I'm not making that up. Vaseline, sorry. I like dip it and I'm like, it just, I feel like it looks more natural that way. I don't know. So I did this once before the other day, but I had help. And now it's just me and you. Hoping that we can, oh my God, that we can do this again. Okay, okay, here we go. Oh my God. Oh my God. We're just gonna... So I am 22 years old and I'm already getting a receding hairline slash balding moment happening. Oh my God, what am I doing right now? What the actual f am I doing? Okay. Okay, we might be onto something here. Okay. Okay, that's all I got for today. Thanks for hanging out with me while I did this. Not really sure how the pictures went, but if they ended up good, then I'll put them at the end of the video. And if you don't see them at the end of the video, then that means that they probably didn't turn out very good, so...